Yo, my people, my viewers, what's going on, what's going down? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this from. Please drop a like on the video, please subscribe. But today, guys, as you can see here, this is me switching my allegiance to the Portuguese side of my heart, which is Benfica, because today we've got a very interesting quarterfinal. Benfica versus Inter Milan, and of course we've got another one, which is of course Bayern Munich, Man City and Bayern Munich. So the Champions League is back, and I'm nervous. I'm excited and I'm nervous because on one hand, even though my actual team that I follow on a day-to-day basis, being Arsenal, is not in the Champions League, we understand that there's mitigating circumstances that are going to happen in the Champions League, which can affect the league from an Arsenal perspective, and also for me personally from a Benfica perspective. Benfica's doing amazing this season. I haven't really followed them this season because me living in London and obviously me being here most of the times. This year I didn't travel to Portugal. Last year I only travelled once. I haven't really, kept up with the season and how it's kind of going for them. Obviously, you know some things, but you don't really know the true depths unless you're following it week in, week out. We know that they're most certainly going to win the Portuguese league, Liga NOS. They've lost recently. I think it was on the 7th of April. They lost against their bitter rivals, Porto. We did lose that game. However, we're so far into it now in terms of points and in terms of league position, that I don't think they're going to be able to catch up. And I'm just going to see if I can get the actual points scored. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one defeat in the last 4 games. They were all 4 wins. This is the one defeat against Porto on the 7th. Benfica sit first with 71 points on the board. Followed by Porto, of course, with 64 points. Both of them with 27 games played. Do you know what I mean? It's it's still doable. They can still catch up Porto, but they've just left it for too late. So I think the title is wrapped up. So now it's the Champions League, and I would say this: it's been a long time coming. Since we want to win something in Europe. We being Benfica, they want to be able to kind of get back to European heights because it's a European side. Benfica has won a few European honours in their past, and it's a real Portuguese powerhouse. It's a very, very, very well-run club. Think of how many players have left Benfica over the last 5 to 10 years, and have gone on to have amazing careers and have gone on to be amazing players. It's crazy, you can start off right in the Premier League with people like João Felix, of course, and moving to Chelsea on loan, and Chelsea being where they are, it doesn't reinforce my statement there, but João Felix is a hell of a footballer, and he's a Benfica product. There's bare Benfica products. I'm not going to start going down the history lane of all of them. I want to focus on actually, what's happening today. Inter Milan is interesting as well because they somehow have, just been amazing. They've been brilliant, Inter Milan, and let's have a look where they sit in Serie A. They sit 5th, so they haven't done too well in the league. But I think it's more this season. Last season they were doing. Isn't it Inter Milan that won the league, the Serie A last season? I might be wrong, but I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. Juventus sits 7th with 44 points. Inter Milan, they sit 51 points. They sit 5th. Napoli is going to run away with it. Napoli is ultimately the team that I do predict to actually most certainly be in that Champions League final and probably nick it, because it just looks like this is going to be their year, and you can't really see anyone kind of closing, being able to stop them in terms of goal scoring and how they're defending as a team, as a unit. It really is Napoli. But yeah, Inter Milan, look, they're there, thereabouts. This is the quarterfinal. So everything is still to play for. But can you imagine if Benfica actually gets to that final, and they win something. They're gonna win the league. Imagine Benfica win the league and Arsenal win the league. I will be celebrating 2 league wins. It will be the best season for me in my entire 32 years of life that I've lived up to this point. You know, it will be a real crazy month, 2 months of football for me. And just imagine, you never know. Imagine if you could take it to the Champions League and get to that final, and all things are possible. When Chelsea won it with Di Matteo, no one thought that Chelsea could win. Nobody had them to win, and they did what they did. Yes, a lot of dark arts. Yes, a lot of luck that comes with it. But you know, you heard even from the Sky Sports commentators and the Sky Sports pundits on the weekend for the Liverpool Arsenal game. You know, title winners they need luck, and you best believe even in that game, Arsenal v Liverpool, you know, Arsenal had luck to leave that stadium with a point. That was luck. You can't tell me that wasn't luck. But look, I'm looking forward to it. The Champions League is back. We can, you know, us as Arsenal fans, we can sit back. You know, the majority of Arsenal fans can sit back and just enjoy the Champions League as it is. We have nothing to do for the week. We can enjoy Europa League. We can enjoy Champions League. We can enjoy it all. However, I'm not going to enjoy it as much. I will be slightly nervous because, of course, you know, one of my teams, my Portuguese team, is still in it, which is quite interesting, you know. But yeah, look, I do predict us to win. We are playing at home. It's just one of them ones, isn't it? I think Benfica, when it comes to the Stadium of Light, when it comes to playing at home, we're strong, and I think it's really about that second leg where maybe historically you can potentially say how they got enough to kind of, you know, go through. It's still to be seen, but I tip us to get a win at home in Lisbon. And in terms of Manchester City and Bayern Munich, now I wanted to. This is why I essentially, you know, thought, let me make a video as well, because I wanted to proper talk about this. This game now this game, you know, we had a little rocky moment, come away with a draw. It's not the end of the world. In the last 6-7 years, we were coming away with defeats. Please, Arsenal fans, do not overreact. Like, it really is not that deep. Do you know what I mean? So look, this game here, I think you're going to start to see the pressure be mounted onto City in terms of what they really want to go for. And I understand, you know, Pep has said it before, it's about the league. 38 games shows you who's the best. It's not a case of, you know, playing a few, 6-7 games and then having so much luck that you lift the trophy in a cup competition. It's really about a marathon which proves that you are most certainly the best. And I agree. But in terms of legacy and looking at honours and looking at what you actually, you know, put in place for, it's the Champions League without fail of a doubt for Pep Guardiola. The Champions League is the most illustrious type of trophy that exists. You know, the league comes with the territory. You know, you're in the league to win the league, of course. You know, if you build a team that's capable of doing it, of course. Looking at it from a football aspect, you play football to win trophies from a team perspective. But you know, we know that it's the Champions League, the creme de la creme. The real creme de la creme is the Champions League. No one can deny it. No one can try sugarcoat it. Pep Guardiola will be looked at as a hero, a legend for City, of course. You know, winning, how many titles is it? 4 titles, but it's 4 Premier League titles. It gets. That's why I told my brother, it's boring. Like, City winning is actually boring. Oh, City, oh, lift it, woo, 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 woo. Big machine, strong machine, City the machine. Bruv, you're gonna monopolize the whole footballing. Like, you're gonna lock it down. You're gonna turn it into a farmers' league. Like, that's dead. You know, 100% Arsenal need to win the league this season. Bring this Premier League back to London. Bring it back to the capital. Bring some life back into the city, because we need life in this city, man. Honestly, we need to party. We need something to celebrate about in the city. There's many people that are stressed, depressed, mental health, you know, and like, one thing that breaks my heart is that Arsenal have suffered for such a long time, and you know that there's Arsenal fans that are no longer here with us. Rest their souls, God rest their souls. You know, if you've been personally affected by that, you know, losing a family member, a friend, or something along those lines, you know. And you just like, I always think I was watching a few videos, Arsenal videos, old school videos, of Curtis Shaw, and um, when he used to do interviews with Claude, and I'm just like, raw, like, do you know what I mean? Like, Claude ain't even gonna be able to, he's not being able to see the turnaround and see us, you know, progress and move forward to win things, which is quite upsetting, you know. At the end of the day, we definitely deserve we definitely deserve to celebrate something in London. It's been a long time, you know. It's been a long time. But look, listen. To get to the point of what I want to say is, I think this game here is gonna really, really mount up the pressure for City. You know, I think this game here they're gonna have to make a decision, because I tell you what, yes, okay, cool. Today they're at the Etihad and they're playing well, but Thomas Tuchel is a G. Thomas Tuchel knows how to play against Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola drew comparisons with Jack Nicklaus and Michael Jordan as he defended Manchester City league record. He goes on to say, all games are so difficult. Yesterday it was the Masters. How many Masters has Jack Nicklaus played, or majors has he played in his career? In 30, 40 years as a golfer, how many wins out of 164? 18 wins. That, I think he's just reaching. He's trying to draw comparisons that it ain't, like, it's different sport, bro. I'm so sorry. Like, I get it. But yeah, no. Wow, he loses more than he wins. That is sport. In football, in golf, in basketball. Yeah, I hear that, but no, still not accepting that. Let's see what he said about Michael Jordan. So MJ, the best athlete for me in basketball, won 6 NBA titles out of 15 years. He loses more than he wins. Yeah, I get that, but he wins it. When are you going to win a Champions League? When are you going to win one Champions League with City? You know, football's a bit different. You can clearly see that on a span of 38 games and in a span of a few competition games, your team is clearly by far the most dominant team out of those two competing teams. So it's not about, oh, wait 15 years before you can win one, and then, you know, you can justify and say, oh yeah, people in sport, you lose more than you win. In sport, you do lose more than you win, but when you win significantly, and you make sure that you're competitive enough to kind of win in a time frame where it classifies you as being a great. That's why people are debating whether that the Jurgen Klopp sort of glory years will be considered as a great side or not, because they just didn't do it. They achieved one Champions League, one Premier League, but they just didn't do it for a close enough period of time where that, do you know what I'm trying to say? Listen, make no mistake, I'm not saying that it's a given that they win the league, the Champions League, City, because they have the players that they have. However, when you see them playing the football that they play, however, when you see the investment, you know, all of the expectations, like, it's there in it, and if you don't achieve it, it's a failure. It is what it is. It just is what it is. He can come up with many excuses and sugarcoat this and sugarcoat that, but what I actually wanted to say as well, you lot, is I just wanted to have because yesterday, yeah, I saw this interesting thing where it showed like the remaining games. It showed the remaining games for City and for Arsenal, and the running. Basically, yeah, before we get to, I can't remember what game it is. I'm gonna try to see. I think it's before we get to the Newcastle game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but there's gonna be, yeah. So we got West Ham on Sunday. Then we got Friday after that we got Southampton, and then we got City. Yeah. So before we actually get to the City game, yeah, City would have played Bayern Munich twice. So that's 2 quarterfinals, and they would have played Sheffield United in the semi-final of a FA Cup. Now that is significant, bro. Yeah, that is before we get to Etihad, and this is what I said on my video yesterday, you know. All of these Man City fans already guaranteeing this win and saying, yo, man, when we get the game in hand, win. When we get the Arsenal at the Etihad, win. Then it's going to be 6 points. And all I'm trying to say is this, bro. This game against Bayern Munich is going to suck the life from a physical perspective, a mental perspective out of you lot. Don't get it twisted. And then from there, yeah, let me just have a look. Car, you lot think it's a joke. This is not going to be easy, bro. You lot think it's a joke. No, that's Prem. I want all fixtures. So Bayern Munich tonight. 15th they got Leicester City. Okay. Now Leicester City, you could say, all right, it's gonna be a walk in the park, but then again, you never know. My man's coming in, Dean Smith, yeah. So it could be a manager bounce, it could be whatever, but it's most likely gonna be a defeat. I'll be real because they're playing away. If Leicester was at home though, if Leicester was at home, I would have said, bro, Leicester can get something out of this game. But cool, let's just put that down as a loss as well, or as a win for City, yeah. But you're looking at two quarterfinals, yeah, two very critical, very peak, bro. This Bayern Munich side is cooking again now, and they haven't been amazing throughout in terms of Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann hasn't really done. People don't understand why Nagelsmann even got fired. It's obviously back of house antics and politics, but they've won nearly all of their games that they've played, especially in the Champions League. But anyways, it is what it is. Yeah, so they got Leicester and they got Bayern Munich again, and then they got Sheffield United, and then they have us. Do you know what I mean? Sheffield United, FA Cup semi-final, bruv. You lot think that's gonna be easy? You lot think they're gonna go? And I don't care if we're gonna rest players, we're gonna play Rico Lewis. You get done over unless his strategy is to exit the FA Cup now, yeah, in this very next game, yeah, and not have to deal with another final, which again is another mental and physical excursion, yeah. Then I don't know, bro. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that we have because people for Arsenal, they're focusing on Newcastle. Then you got, City. You got these tough away games. You got Chelsea at home. Chelsea, we're going to slap Chelsea at home. Again, it's not a given, but it's most likely that we will. Chelsea are poor. They're just poor. And the thing about Chelsea, it's not even one of them teams where it's not like Brentford or, they're going to want to attack, so they leave spaces in behind. So our team is built to counter-attack. Are you not actually clocking our team? I saw a panning picture of Arsenal players lining up for one of the games when we're wearing the away kit, the black away kit. And, bro, our players, you see that squad's starting to look intimidating, Martinelli, Saka, Jesus, Panic Zinchenko, Panic Saliba, I'm looking at Ben White. I'm looking at the players, and Ben White didn't really cover himself in glory in the Liverpool game, but he's still a bad boy right back. I don't care. / centre back, one of the best. It's starting to look like an intimidating side, It's starting to really look like an intimidating side, Arsenal. I'll be real, we don't look like, oh yeah, you kind of panel and you're seeing Flamini and Diaby and these Torreira, these kind of fringe-looking dons, do you know what I mean? You don't see Squillaci and Mustafi and nah, bro. And this is why we're having a success, and that's why we're here to stay. Arsenal's here to stay in terms of the success they're building. This is not a one season hit wonder. So yeah, man, look, we got a lot to look forward to. But Champions League, guys, let's all enjoy the Champions League games today. It's going to be interesting. I do think that City will just nick it tonight, I'll be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I want them to nick it. I want City to win all the Champions League games. I want City to win the Champions League, or to at least feel as though they're going to win the Champions League, because maybe that will kind of help them take the eye off the league to an extent. And we know that truly that's what they want. When I heard Haaland speaking about what Pep was saying, look, it is what it is. The league is looking like it might just be Arsenal's year. We need to focus on the Champions League. Haaland said, they brought me here not to win the league. They know how to win the league. Do you know what I mean? They brought me here to win the Champions League. So this is what we're gonna kind of, hope and I'll be real with you. I honestly do not see how they can keep the same levels of performance, the same levels of just sheer greatness on both fronts, Premier League and Champions League, and then get both of them. They don't have them. They don't have the nous for a treble or quadruple. They have the physicality for it. They have the players for it in terms of ability, but it's just not there yet. And especially in this side, where you've lost some of the real kind of, the real pillars of that City squad. People like Kompany, people like Aguero, people like, what's the Brazilian defensive midfielder's name again? what was it? I can't remember his name, but you don't know exactly who I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? To kind of have that mental, do you know what I mean? It's only a few now. They've got Kevin De Bruyne. They've got, you know what I mean? But they don't have those real stewards that would say, what? We're going for the treble and this is how we're going to achieve it. Listen, I'm going to keep it here, nice and short and sweet. Watch both games, guys, because I guarantee you that the Benfica game is going to be a banger as well. And come on, Benfica, let's show Inter Milan what we can do. Let's take City all the way to the final and let's imagine Benfica beat Manchester. I know I'm delusional now, I'm just dreaming now, but in terms of, like, I want this to happen for the sake of Arsenal. I want Benfica, which is my secondary team, yeah, to take them on as far as possible. I want City to get to the final, so they're busy with that, and then I want them at some point to fall in the last hurdle. We take the glory of the Premier League. Happy days, beautiful year, beautiful summer. Can you imagine the summer? It's gonna be a dream. Let's get it, guys. Please drop a like on the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.